Welcome to another iDoctor UK video. In this video, I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest and the safest method to open up an iPad without breaking the screen. I'm going to use this iPad Air 4 as an example, but the same method applies to iPad 1st gen all the way up to the latest iPad Pro models. And as always, I highly recommend watching the video all the way through to the end to familiarize yourself with the process and the tools and equipment required to do the job. So let's get started with what tools we're going to need to do. First up, we're going to need a hot plate. I've got this big unit here for refurbishing iPad displays, but the regular CPB type heat mats will do the job. Or if you are feeling brave, I don't 100% recommend this, but a hairdryer or heat gun might do the job. But just remember that heat distribution on those is much more uneven than using a hot plate. Next up, you'll need a suction cup like this one from iFixit, as well as some isopropyl alcohol in one of these nice squeezy bottles here. Other tools that you'll need to do the job are some guitar picks like these iFixit ones here. So let's get started with this repair by placing the iPad face down on the heat mat for 7 to 10 minutes. I've got the hot plate set to 70 degrees Celsius, and at this temperature, you're not risking damaging the backlight or the LCD on the iPad. Whilst that's cooking, go make yourself a nice cup of tea. And it's also wise to head to a site like iFixit.com to familiarize yourself with the internal layout of the device, making a note of the location of any flex cables that you want to avoid when removing the screen. Once the iPad's hot to the touch, you can flip it over so the screen is now facing upwards, then take your suction cup and attach it to the left-hand side of the screen. Remember, this iPad opens up like a book from the back cover. So if we start on the left side here, rather than the right, we're reducing the risk of coming into contact with any cables over here. With the suction cup attached, add a drop of isopropyl alcohol all the way down that left-hand edge. Then begin lifting the suction cup away from the iPad. This should create a very small opening, just big enough for you to insert your first guitar pick into. Only insert it a few millimeters because we don't want to risk damaging the LCD or lifting the glass up too far at this stage. With the first pick inserted, detach the suction cup from the screen and move it further down the left-hand edge and reattach it. This time, whilst you're lifting up the suction cup, take another guitar pick and insert it into the gap that you've just created with the first pick, then begin sliding the pick slowly down the edge of the screen towards the suction cup. Repeat this step again, moving the suction cup this time to the center of the bottom edge. Then lift and simultaneously slide another guitar pick from the previous pick all the way around the bottom left-hand corner, along the bottom edge, and right down to that right-hand corner. We've now released 2 of the 3 edges that we need to loosen. So move the suction cup again, this time to the very top edge of the screen, and repeat the same process of lifting and sliding the guitar pick. Be especially careful around this power button area here. There is a small flex cable for Touch ID that, if damaged, renders the Touch ID function absolutely useless. So don't insert the pick too deep. Once all those 3 edges have been worked around, you can move the suction cup back over to the center of the left-hand edge and begin lifting upwards. And as you begin to create a bigger gap between the screen and chassis, you'll probably notice that there might be some of the adhesive tape still hanging on for dear life. Just take your guitar pick and cut those bits free, and that should release the screen away from the housing, finally allowing you to fold the screen upwards, just like opening a book. Now that the iPad screen is safely detached from the screen, you can take something heavy like this Hakko Omnivice or a mug or something similar, just to keep the screen from flopping all the way down whilst you remove the screws and disconnect the battery to finally release the screen. Once you've unscrewed the screws, removed the shields and disconnected the flexes for the LCD and the touch, you can just lift up the iPad like that and sort of fold it back on itself to release the iPad. Get these picks out of the way and remove our suction cup. And you can see that we've safely removed the screen on this iPad Air 4. Like I say, this same technique applies to all iPad screens, so be it the iPad Air 3, the iPad Pro 12.9, it doesn't matter. You can do the same technique on each and every one, and you can be confident that you're not going to break the screen. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe for more tech repair tips and tricks. And if there's anything that you think I've missed in the video, just leave me a comment below and I'll try and answer you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.